Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're really diving into something pretty important, a common financial hurdle.
Mm.
How you find quick cash when, life throws those curveballs. We're talking specifically about folks in Florida.
Yeah.
Urgent stuff like your car suddenly needs fixing, or a surprise medical bill lands, or maybe just bridging that gap until the next paycheck comes in.
That happens all the time.
Right. So our mission here is to unpack what our source material says about accessing funds, even if maybe your credit score isn't perfect, or like the source puts it, when traditional lenders slam the door. We're going to look at a method that claims no credit check is necessary. We want to see what that really means.
Yeah, and that's what's really compelling here, right? Understanding why this situation, needing money fast but having credit limitations,
Yeah.
is just so common. So many people need cash now, but their credit history basically blocks them from the usual loans. And the approach we're digging into today, it's a dramatic shift from that. It really focuses instead on, well, your income, your current ability to repay. Not so much that long credit history. So it offers a very different route for people in these tight spots. But, it definitely comes with its own set of things you really need to understand.
Exactly. So if you're maybe navigating one of these tricky situations, our source points towards online payday loans in Florida. And the big hook seems to be bypassing those traditional credit checks. It's really aimed at those moments, car breakdown, medical bills stacking up, rents due before payday, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the core claim, really, is that while the bank might say no because of your score, this alternative path, well, it says it doesn't care about your credit score. Instead, the focus is squarely on having that steady income, showing you can actually pay it back.
And that brings us to a really key difference. If we put this in the bigger financial picture, it's about a fundamental change in how they're looking at risk. Instead of just relying on that historical credit report, which, can be a real barrier for a lot of people, these lenders, or how they're presented anyway, they evaluate your current financial stability.
Okay.
They want to see proof of a reliable income. That, in their view, shows you can handle the loan. It's just a different way of looking at how reliable a borrower might be. And it's typically tied to these short-term, small-dollar loans, often with, higher interest rates or fees, to sort of offset that risk they're taking.
Okay, right. That makes sense. Now, let's look at the specific platform the source really zooms in on, 15mfinance.org. It's kind of positioned as a top choice for a few reasons. First, that big claim, no credit check.
Right. The headline grabber.
Yeah. Second, they promise same-day funding, which suggests, cash really fast. Third, an easy online application described as just a 2-minute form.
Super quick, no paperwork, no hassle. And it also mentions flexible repayment for supposedly manageable terms. Our source says you could get approved in minutes, maybe funded the same day for amounts like $100 up to $1,000 if you're in Florida. It really paints a picture of a remarkably fast fix for immediate problems.
And that speed, that minimal hassle in applying, it's definitely the core appeal. The idea of a 2-minute form and getting cash by tomorrow, it highlights this super streamlined process designed exactly for that urgency.
Yeah.
But it is crucial to understand that while the application might be lightning fast, actually getting same-day funding, well, that often depends on things like bank cutoff times, maybe extra verification steps. It's not always guaranteed that day.
Okay, good point.
And about that flexible repayment, sounds good, right? But typically it means the due dates are tied to your pay schedule. Or sometimes it means options to extend the loan, but usually for extra fees.
Oh, okay.
So you always want to dig into what that flexibility actually costs you. Right. Good advice. So, okay, we've explored the promise here. Rapid cash, bypassing credit checks, platforms like 15mfinance.org. But like with any powerful financial tool, a real deep dive means we have to look at the risks too, right? And how to use it responsibly. Our source actually gives some pretty important warnings. What are those key pro tips listeners really need to hear?
Yeah, it's vital we highlight these. The source is super explicit. These loans are strictly for short-term needs. Seriously, underline that.
Okay, short term.
This isn't a solution for long-term money problems. It's for bridging a temporary gap. And it's crucial, it says, to use them wisely. Which means, common sense, really. Only borrow what you absolutely need, not just what you can get, and make sure you have a solid plan to pay it back on time.
Makes sense.
And a really big warning is to avoid rollovers to dodge extra fees. Now, a rollover, that's basically extending the loan by just paying the fees and pushing the main loan amount into a new loan term.
Ooh, that sounds tricky.
It can be. It can quickly pile up extra charges. It's a common trap, honestly, that can lock people into a cycle of debt. That's exactly why the source hammers on avoiding it.
Got it. Avoid rollovers.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try and pull together the main takeaways from this deep dive on Florida payday loans. The specific route highlighted, 15mfinance.org, it's presented as one option for urgent cash needs. The big selling points are that no credit check approach, the potential for really fast funding, maybe even same-day funding with cash by tomorrow, and that super simple online application, the 2-minute form, no paperwork, no hassle.
Yeah.
And remember, the source suggests this is typically for amounts between, say, $100 and $1,000.
And just to really hammer home that crucial guidance from the source, these are strictly for short-term needs. It's so important to use them wisely, avoid rollovers, definitely avoid those, to dodge the extra fees, and always, always borrow only what you need. That helps prevent costs from spiraling.
It's really clear warnings there.
Yeah. And this brings up, I think, an important question for you, the listener, to maybe mull over. How do you best figure out if a financial tool that's specifically designed for these short-term needs, how do you know if it really fits with your bigger financial picture, your overall strategy? And what does using wisely truly mean for you in your situation when you weigh up all the different options you might have for tackling unexpected expenses? Something to think about.